My name is Seth. I'm the sound designer for Eclipsed. Eclipsed is, I would say, about how society can be completely restructured by war and the sort of tragic way that people are affected by war. And specifically in this one, it's really about the way that women are treated in times of war. And I think what's interesting about this play is you're getting all of that through a very small microcosm of this one army encampment with 4 women, and you're seeing it through the perspective of them and their experience in particular. My inspiration was, in one sense, once I realized that having sound, or at least the transitional sound, represent the chaos of war. And so it's sort of specifically what is not seen in the actual play, but what is driving some of what's happening on stage in a way. My other inspiration, it's something I like to do a lot, but it's to actually use physical objects that are in the show. So I had a fun recording session in my office one afternoon with all of the props, which are mostly metal, like pots that they use to cook, and the tub that one of the characters has to hide underneath of, and stuff like that. And so I actually recorded samples of me playing those things, sort of like instruments, but just finding sounds that they make. And I used that as the main material for all of the sound of the transitions. Partly because the director at one point had mentioned the sound of metal, I think because of it being grating and kind of having a harsh, violent quality, was something that he was interested in, and then partly because I like to figure out ways of connecting the sound in a really direct, kind of obvious way. I mean, it's kind of very literal, but with what's on stage. I think it's important because of the way it focuses on women, for sure, and the really unfortunate and tragic way that they're exploited in times of war is very relevant. I think the fact that it's about a war that to us, at least in this country, feels sort of far away and long gone. But I mean, I guess sort of and this was in the director's statement as well, but how easy it is to kind of forget about things like this, which are so horrible and that last for decades sometimes, and completely overturn and just screw up entire cultures, and that other cultures cannot even really have to worry about them at all. It's kind of interesting, and I mean, it makes me think about how we are in several wars in our own country, and it's sometimes hard to even remember that because we're all so busy with our lives, and the wars are not on our soil. So I feel like it's relevant in the way that it gets us to think about that. So please come see Eclipsed. It's December 1st through 4th here on the main stage, Maedgen Theater at Texas Tech.